Hello, I'm Zash, and welcome to episode 63 of my Senjou no Maou, or The Devil on G-String, Let's Read. Joining me, as always, is my co-reader Faith. Last episode was dominated mostly from a letter from Kyosuke's biological father, and it displayed the link between the Usami and the Samejima family. Also, the background on the tragic events surrounding those two men and the scam that ruined Kyosuke's father and sent him into the hell of Gonzou's care. The letter was also addressed to Kyosuke's older brother, Kyohei, and the sad events around their sister, Kiyomi's death. Anyways, please enjoy this next episode. The echo of the intercom's chime suddenly rings throughout the room. I thought it was one of Gonzou's cronies, but it was an unexpected person.
Open the door, as I said.
It was Usami, still on the run from the Sowa Alliance.
I mean, it's a dumb thing for her to be here, but there she is.
I let Usami in. She was aghast at the change in me. After all, I haven't bathed in several days. This isn't exactly the best place to hide from the Yakuza.
Right. I know that, but...
But what? My heart throbs in pain. I had always held a certain suspicion towards Usami. It was related to the events surrounding my biological father. Events I never cared to talk about.
The news covered the accident.
What do you care if my mother is dead? She mumbled. She seemed to be pitying me. I decided to ask on a whim. Are you Usami Yoshinori's daughter? She stopped breathing. I see. I almost wanted to laugh. That's why you've been following me around all this time.
Oopsies.
Did you want to apologize in your father's stead? Or did you come to avenge his murder? Usami's sobs drizzled out into the room, and their echoes diffused through the darkness. It was unpleasant. Why are you crying?
I'm sorry.
Disgusting to the bitter end.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Shut up. But Usami didn't even try to wipe her tears.
I heard your mother passed away, and I couldn't just stand by and do nothing.
What?
Yuki and Misaha are at Yuki's house. Her dad's a policeman. I thought they'd be safe from Gonzo-san's men as long as they're in his home.
I see. That sounds like a reasonable enough plan. I guess that's why Gonzo hasn't made his move yet. But that still doesn't explain why you're here.
I wanted to see you, as I said.
You wanted to see me? Why would you want to see a murderer's son? Usami's always been a strange woman. I hear the sound of ruffling clothing. The victim's daughter suddenly started taking her clothes off.
If you like what you see,
Oh? The beast's daughter is a prostitute?
I love you.
It felt like someone had squeezed my heart.
I've always loved you.
That was the worst confession ever. Hilarious. What was happening in my room was far from the expression of pure love. It was little more than an insult. An insult that defiled me and disgraced her. It was only right that she shook all over. You've always loved me, you say?
Yes. Yes,
I have half a mind to kill you on the spot. You know that?
but
There's no way we could ever be together. Do you even know what your father did to mine? Huh? Say it!
but that has nothing to do with us.
That is a fair point. Sins of the father are not sins of the child. Yeah, sure. Logically, you're right. If I were a fucking machine, then we could do whatever you want. But how do you expect me to fucking look you in the eye and accept you while I think about the humiliation my father went through?
See, that's the point. I kind of understand what he's getting at, because sins of the father don't portray to the sins of the child, but it's a very close tragedy that has affected the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So I get what he's saying here.
Yeah.
Because she is directly connected to it. She's a direct reminder of it. So, I mean,
Yeah.
whether he can get over that or not, I don't know. It's not her bad, but it's still a thing. But I still love you. Yet you were divorced from your father. Like, you never saw your father after you were like, what, 8?
Yeah.
It's different for you, honey.
Yeah. Usami looked like she was about to fall to her knees, crying. Nevertheless, she diligently held her reddened eyes fixed on me. She seemed to be devoting her all to this confrontation.
I love you. Even when I've tried to give up and forget about you, I always loved you.
I can see that her feelings are true.
Please, just allow me to continue to love you at the very least.
The woman in front of me was an Usami I did not know. A woman hopelessly in love.
I loved you from the moment I met you 10 years ago. You're the only one. The one person I always thought of. The one person I couldn't forget.
10 years ago? I think back. Ellipses. I see a hazy scene, one I don't remember very well. It came as a flash, tearing through the darkness of my memory, like a faint twinkle of lightning. But it left as quickly as it came, and the abyss of hatred was quick to cover my world once again. I see. So you came to comfort me?
I'm sorry. I know you hate being pitied, but I wanted to be of some help.
Because?
Right. Because I love you.
How pushy. Pretty damn unsightly if you ask me. In what way is this girl a hero?
Mostly it's not the stripping issue that I'm having a problem with, because that is very Usami. My problem is the love confession now.
Yeah.
He's in an incredibly fragile emotional state.
Yeah.
And forcing, like, a love confession comes with an expectation attached to it.
Yeah.
And enforcing a emotional expectation from him now is cheesy and tacky, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That would be much more better handled than expecting some sort of give and take right now, when he doesn't have a good grasp on his emotional state.
Yeah, but she isn't asking for a response, at least. Like, she isn't pestering him for...
Well, she said it. She said, I love you at least 8 times at this point. She is expecting some sort of response. I don't know what kind of response that she expects to get, but she is expecting one, even if it's rejection.
Yeah.
That's not how this should be handled right now.
She's goddamn demon spawn.
And I'm not saying she's trying to hurt him in any way, just putting that out there. I'm just saying the scene isn't handled very well, in my opinion.
Though it's probably not writer's fault, it's Usami being stupid fault.
I don't know, the writers have had a bad time of, hey, you know what we should do? We should jam a love confession right here where it doesn't go.
Yeah, but at least this one is explainable as stupid Usami.
Yeah, at least this one I can see Usami doing.
That it's in character for Usami.
But I don't approve of it specifically.
It's not a good idea, but it's in character. at least.
Yeah.
All right, take your clothes off.
Okay.
The hands on her panties were clearly shaking. My penis was extraordinarily hard. Not for lust after Usami's luscious body. For lust after violating the only child of the monster who ripped apart my family and drove my father to murder.
See, this is why I said this is a bad time to do this.
What an incredibly tempting offer. It should be plenty to wash away my father's humiliation. For some reason, tears pour from my eyes. Tears of blood gifted to me by my father, I tell myself. I consider the scene before me for a minute. I see a woman crying with her legs spread wildly, and a man shedding tears onto his erect penis. It was a painting of hell by the devil himself.
Shan.
It was at that moment that Usami muttered that name, of all names.
I'm sorry.
Get out of my sight, Usami! Her reaction was just to cry like a child. This is my very last sliver of goodwill towards you. Next time I see you, I'll do more than rape you. She trembled as she hurriedly dressed. I don't ever want to see your face again. Next time, I'll kill her without a second thought. I'm barely able to hold back my urge to torture her to death as it is. However, Usami said my dead sister's name. She said, Kiyomi-chan, I'm sorry, and truly put all her heart into the apology.
Goodbye.
Usami rushes off into the room's darkness, tumbles around a bit, and leaves in a run. Absolute silence reigns after her departure. My ears ring, and my headache threatens to break my will. And right at this very moment, I can feel Maou awakening inside me. Megalipses. Ellipses. Now, what a refreshing morning. Exactly 1 week has passed since Tokida's hostage case. At the moment, I'm wondering what I should do now. I hear something at the door. The door opens. Several feet shod in expensive leather send sharp noises through the room. Why, hello there, Horibe-san. I casually greet the few Yakuza who've clearly come for my blood. Hey, son. Sorry to bother you so early. Oh no, don't worry about it. What business do you have with me? A cruel smile surfaced on Horibe's face. The boss wants your head. Oh? He told you to kill me? He said you were Maou all along. Do you agree with him? Now, don't play dumb. That debacle at the arena practically proved it. What do you mean? No matter how many times we called you, you never picked up. Oh, that. You know how crowded it was. There was nothing I could do. I was desperately trying to contact you, too. Oh, please, cut it already. Yesterday, a man named Somiya from Sano came to meet the boss. He spoke gleefully. He said that he had an advisor named Azai until just a few days ago. Said the kid was young and clever, almost like you, son. I grinned. Ah, Somiya-san, huh? The corner of Horibe's mouth twisted as well, as if responding to me. So, you admit it then? Dunno. I don't remember. The next moment, I was staring down a gun barrel. I barely recognize your new face, son. Is this your true self? He pressed me for an answer. He intends to kill me on the spot. Got any last words? An apology, maybe? Apology? You came all this way thanks to your good old dad picking you up out of that shithole, did you not? He's completely right. Thanks to Gonzou adopting me, my life has been hell. Nothing to say for yourself? How do I get out of this one? There are 3 other burly men here to back Horibe up. They've got the only door blocked off. Jumping out the window wouldn't be such a good idea. This is the 16th floor, which leads... What is it, son? Nothing. You don't think you can take us on like some action hero, do ya? Of course not. Only a fool would use violence against professional employers of violence. Still, these are nothing more than Gonzou's dogs. Livestock. Slaves to money. I stare down Horibe as he points his gun at me. Did he come here dead set on killing me? Or is there some room for negotiation? Does he really intend on pulling that trigger? Or is it just a threat? All right. Well, Horibe-san, let me ask you just one thing. Horibe narrows his eyes. Did father just order you to kill me? Just? While keeping my eyes on the barrel of the gun, I point to my safe. Contained within it is the money I was saving to pay off my father's debt and provide for my mother's future. The small fortune is worth no more to me now than any old scraps of paper. Yeah, we'll be taking the cash too. As I expected, the slave to money took the bait. Oh, you will? That's rather troubling. There's over 50 million in there, you see. Alrighty then. Why don't you go open it up for us? Horibe waved the gun in the direction of the safe, as if he were sure of his victory. Very well. I walked to the safe, slowly dialed the combination, and opened the door. They must have been dazzled by the glow of the gold inside. You're sure good at negotiating, ain't you, son? Thank you. I turn around to face Horibe and his joyous smile. The man looked like a child about to torture a bug. So, you want to trade this for your life? Indeed. How about it? Not happening. Horibe's face closed in on me, his anger so intense that it made his blood vessels protrude from his head. You're really a cheeky kid, ain't ya? You don't know when to give up. Looking at him up close emphasizes how frightening the man really is. Did I really once command this bunch? I decided to speak up and end this charade. I see. I wholeheartedly apologize for my rudeness. However, this is my win. What? You made me open this safe at gunpoint. Do you understand what this means? Huh? If you had just shot and killed me earlier, it would have been simple murder. But killing me after making me open the safe is murder with intent to rob, whether you take the money or not. Horibe's clean-shaven eyebrows jumped up. Understood? Know what happens to people in your situation. A life sentence, or if you're unlucky, the death penalty. Horibe's glance slowly dropped to the ground. You're a genuine Ryakuza, right, Horibe-san? Being put in jail for your boss's sake is no big deal. But if you dishonor yourself with the title of thief, even if you get out of jail, there will be no place in the Soa Alliance for you. Now, think hard. Will you throw your life away for a kid like me? A calculating man like Horibe should know what to do. You've really got me there, eh? It'd have been a different situation if this were deep in the mountains, in the middle of nowhere, and someone other than Horibe was pointing a gun at me. How about this? By the time you got here, I was already gone. Horibe clicked his tongue and put on his usual Yakuza smile. I gotcha. I'm in your debt. Well, son. The last thing he said was exactly what I'd expect of Horibe. How much of this 50 mil can we take? This will be the last time we meet. I receive a call as I was out walking. Yo, Tsubaki, what's up?
It's been a while. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I feel great.
Planning on coming back to school anytime soon?
School, huh? Now that's nostalgic.
Haru-chan, Mizuha-chan, and Yuki-san haven't been coming either.
Oh? Maybe it's the cold weather getting to everybody.
Did something happen?
Who knows? I don't anyway. I've been very busy with work. Or should I say, play.
Well, as long as you're doing okay. Come to school sometimes too, though, okay?
I suppose that means the call is drawing to a close. Wait, Tsubaki.
What is it?
How's your family doing? Are you getting along all right?
Yeah, same as ever.
I'm so sorry about that thing last year.
Why should you be sorry? You helped us so much, didn't you?
Never mind. Don't worry about it. Later. Tsubaki cheerfully said,
Bye-bye.
before hanging up. One big happy family, huh? Having a family is enough happiness on its own. There's no need to complicate that. You can always make more money. Now, what to do? Oh, right. I should probably deal with Izai Gonzou. He should have just died from that car bomb. All right, let's go kill him. But before that, there's still one thing that's bothering me. That memory. It's the only thing holding me back. Usami said that she met me 10 years ago. Was that memory? Was it on the rooftop of the Sano Corporation's headquarters? Did I really meet Usami as a kid? I need to find out. Revenge can wait for now. I head for the Sano Corporation building. Megalipses. Ellipses. Ellipses. Megalipses. The night wears on, and now it's time to act. I finish my preparations and leave Sano's headquarters. Izai Kyosuke. No. Samajima Kyosuke and Usami Haru met as children. They socialized in their own clumsy way and formed a friendship, completely ignorant of what was transpiring between their parents. What a hilarious story. An old friend holding an unrequited love for an outrageous amount of time. And then a 10-year reunion. Your love could never have been answered, Usami. For you to seek normal happiness like that is impertinent. Now, Father doesn't have much time left. There's one man I must kill before executing my final plan. I take my cell phone in hand to call him. I throw my personal feelings to the wind as I listen to the ringing of the line. Be thankful I let you live for so long. The call connects, and I speak up. It's been a while. Do you think that kind of greeting is suitable for this situation? Megalipses. Ellipses.
Usami Haru, alone, rushed to Azai Gonzo's mansion. After being rejected by the man she loved, she held no more hope. Well, I'm just putting it out here.
Yeah.
Judging by what's happening now, what I was saying about the emotional fragility was completely correct.
Yeah. Kyosuke's gone completely off the deep end.
She decided to take the opportunity to drown herself in her chase for Maou, her mother's killer. Azai Gonzo stared at his sudden visitor.
The necrotic scent on you is stronger, Usami Haru.
Haru was prepared to be killed by Gonzo for allowing Yuki, a comrade of Maou, to escape. I'll tell you everything I got out of Yuki about Maou, so would you mind leaving Yuki alone? She knew there was no way to live in this city with Azai Gonzo as an enemy.
Fair point.
That is true. I'll take one step outside the safe zone Yuki and Mizuha had holed themselves up in, and Gonzo's men would be waiting. As if they knew their prey would give in eventually, the Yakuza continued their surveillance of the Tokita household. I don't care what you do to me, but let Yuki go. She spoke without reverence, and stared challengingly into Gonzo's eyes. Flattery wouldn't work on this beast of a man anyway. Defending herself in even the slightest would prevent him from taking her seriously. She was prepared to bare her vitals, her stomach, her jugular, any number of vulnerable spots to show she wasn't afraid of the beast.
I'll leave the Tokita girl alone. For now.
Gonzo's interests seemed to be somewhere else.
I don't need information on Maou anymore.
Meaning?
Don't play dumb. Kyosuke is Maou.
Haru doubted her ears.
Kyosuke has been seen a psychiatrist. From what I hear, he has something called psychogenic amnesia.
What is that?
An extremely rare condition, in which irregularities of his brain causes him to sporadically forget events or blank part of his memory.
Oh wait. What caused that?
Stress. It's more common in people who kill their emotions than in those who vent their feelings regularly.
A lump rose in Haru's throat. She could tell Kyosuke had a brutal past. She could also tell that he didn't have a single friend who understood the man behind the cheerful mask he wore at school. Kyosuke-kun isn't Maou, she muttered, as if speaking to herself. Haru may outwardly say she suspects Kyosuke, but inside she trusts him to an almost idiotic extent. However, she didn't have any proof to present to Gonzo. She had no way of convincing him that Kyosuke was not the one who had taken the Miwa family's ransom and blown up his car.
You and Kyosuke knew each other a long time ago.
You're well informed. The beast's eyes shot open.
Did you love him?
Yes.
Was the feeling mutual?
It was at the time.
I see.
Haru suddenly felt that the intimidation oozing from Gonzo's every pore had stopped flowing altogether.
I see.
Gonzo repeated. Haru, helpless. could do nothing but wait for Gonzo's inevitable judgment of Kyosuke.
As long as we live and breathe, our way is paved with ice.
Oopsies.
A person's life is not comprised of 4 repeating seasons, but a year-long winter wilderness. Whether or not you stop to wipe the blood or tears, they will inevitably freeze over.
Haru couldn't tell if he was speaking about Kyosuke or himself. A voice called from the next room. Gonzo answered, and a man in a black suit appeared carrying a cordless phone. He left again, without saying a word. Gonzo took the phone, and then kept silent for a bit. Haru had no idea who the caller was, or what the call was about.
Kyosuke.
Gonzo finally spoke up in a threatening voice.
If you show up unprepared, you're going to die.
That seemed to be the end of the conversation. Immediately after that, Gonzo stood up. He seemed to almost forget about Haru's existence. Excuse me? Gonzo hid a gun in his pocket, then walked outside with a haughty gait. The beast was going hunting. There was nothing Haru could do to stop him. Ellipses. Ellipses.
Ellipses. Megalipses. Looks like the fish bit at my bait. 2 Mercedes-Benzes rushed along the dark harbor. Muscle jumped out of the cars when they stopped. Gonzo has 6 guards with him. He must be underestimating me. Most likely, they're not carrying anything bigger than pea shooters. Furthermore, I wonder how many of these 6 have actually killed someone. They may be Yakuza, but there aren't many Yakuza who spend their days in secluded mountains practicing with loaded firearms and live ammunition. The only problem is, our man Izai Gonzo is refusing to come out of his vehicle. One with heavy tinting, I might add. Thus, I can't paint Gonzo's vitals with my scope's crosshair. Still, there ought to be plenty of chances. These men, who are used to living in a peaceful country like Japan, would never dream that they're being targeted by a rifle on a rundown building 200 yards away. My sniping isn't something to brag about, but I have an excellent scope helping me. An expert engineer adjusted the focus for me, so even if my aim is a little shaky, I shouldn't miss my target. I grip the rifle, and the smell of oil from the gun reaches my nose. I monitor the situation through my scope. I was right to have chosen the wharf as my hunting grounds. It's a wide expanse, with practically no cover. Ellipses. A large man, reminiscent of a bodyguard, turns to talk to the backseat of one of the cars. Boss, we can't find him. His throaty voice echoes through the silent night. Izai Gonzo is definitely here. He's being careful, having his subordinates search the area. Now, how to smoke him out of the car? I stick a rod covered with a soft cloth into the barrel of the gun. I finish up cleaning and put 5 rounds of ammunition into the chamber. The bullets are tipped with ceramic, designed to pierce through most bulletproof vests. I take out the hand towel I have stashed in the instrument case I transported the rifle in. I intend to use it to quickly gather up the shells after the fact. I wrap the weapon's sling around my left arm, then fix my elbow firmly to the ground, making sure to support the gun with my bones and not strength. I put my cheek and right hand up on the stalk. My preparations are about finished. The ocean is quiet, and there isn't much wind. I took into consideration the humidity and air currents between the buildings, but I couldn't find anything that might upset any shots I fire. All that's left to do is find Gonzou and aim at him. I took aim at the Mercedes-Benz Gonzou would be coming out of. I then heard the sound of a car engine and checked the situation through the lens again. A taxi had pulled up. It stopped by the side of Gonzou's vehicle for a moment, then quickly drove away. I snicker when I see who stepped out. I adjusted my sights to take into account the crosswind. Taking into mind the effect of gravity, I moved the crosshair slightly upwards. Now come out, Gonzou. I'll take you down in one blow. Ellipses. But for some reason, I can't keep my cool. It's not excitement for the conclusion of my hunt, and it's certainly not pity for the beast who ruined my mother. Then, as if sensing the disturbance in my heart, Azai Gonzou jumped out of the car at the exact right moment. With the agile movements of a wild animal, he ran with his body low to the ground.
Kyosuke!
He roared. Of all places, he was looking straight at me, as if he knew he was being targeted by a rifle, as if he predicted I'd use this position to snipe him. Why? It's conceivable that he'd be cautious of a sniper. That's why he didn't come out of the car. But why? Before I could think, a will to put down the beast took over me. Azai Gonzou's huge body was dead center in my sights. He arrogantly looked up at me. Now, do it. The beast came to be killed. I aimed the crosshair at his chest. I steady my breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. I keep my eyes pried open. My eyelids are frozen in place. I take aim, put my finger to the trigger, and squeeze ever so slightly. The rifle fires. The sound of the gunshot echoed throughout the docks, and Gonzou's huge body shakes. The bullet went in just below the lung. I missed his heart, but it's a fatal wound. I put a little bit of gunpowder in the bullets. So right now, the beast's insides must be megalipses. What?
Listen up, Maou.
How is he still standing?
Evil owes its very existence to the vestigial remains of mankind's bestial nature.
His knees didn't even falter, and his face is filled with violent excitement. His bloodshot eyes seem capable of leaping from their sockets at any second.
Someone who seeks salvation through revenge. Someone such as yourself who attempts to save his pathetic existence through misdeeds will soon realize the fragility of his own evil.
It was like the standing death of Benkei. My body shrank back at the final roar of the beast on the verge of death.
Join me in laughter.
The very next moment, Azai Gonzou's mouth vomited a veritable bloodstorm. He was smiling. Azai Gonzou spends his final moments bellowing in laughter, spewing from his lungs a sea of blood. And despite seeming to drown in it, he continues laughing. The rifle shakes, pounding against my ear. No, it's my arm shaking. For some reason, I was trapped in a nightmare, that the beast's 200 yards away was devouring my intestines. Calm down. I killed him. Izai Gonzou is dead. There's no doubt about that. Right. There's nothing to panic about. His last screams were nothing but the howling of a dying dog. Laughter? Humbug! That was nothing more than the convulsions of a hyena who failed to kill his prey. Gah. No matter how cool I try to play it, my violently beating heart betrays my desire to flee. Did he just demonstrate the difference between us as animals? When I looked into the scope again, I was overcome with fear. There's no one there? The wolves, now without an alpha male, have dispersed without a hint of disturbance. They merely rushed to the nearest cover and redirected their attention. The only thing in view was Gonzou's body, lying on the ground. This is bad. I missed my chance to take out the rest of my targets. I underestimated them. I thought Japan's Yakuza were a bunch of dunces, more bark than bite. Without uttering a word about their boss's death, they came straight for me. An army that keeps moving even after losing their commander, eh? If they're truly this competent, then it's highly probable that one of them noticed the flash from my rifle. In other words, I should assume they know where I am. I quickly pack away the rifle and prepare to withdraw. I dash down the emergency staircase of the rundown building. I'm careful to move as quietly as I can without sacrificing speed. I leave the building and the harbor, then hide in the shadows of a warehouse. I manage to escape by a hair's breadth. The men infiltrate the decrepit building I had just been at in groups of 2, covering each other's blind spots. Their cooperation was reminiscent of the Special Forces buddy system.